Hello, I'm here with the wonderful Amber. She is the lead singer of the Columbus band Mojoflo. I'm very excited to talk to her. She's done a lot of different live performances, so it's great to really have someone who has that live experience on. So if you want to just maybe introduce yourself and give a little spiel about Mojoflo.
For sure. Thanks for having me, first off.
Yeah,
And
of
I'm
course.
Nicole. I'm the lead singer of Mojoflo, and I also act around town, and I'm active in the music community in all sorts of different capacities. So I work with Wave. We amplify voices, and yeah, so I do a few different things, but my main thing is Mojoflo and performing. So
Okay. Well, it's great to have you on. So how
Mhm.
long has you and Mojoflo been performing as a group?
Funny, I was just thinking about that. April of 2008 was my first gig with Mojo
Oh,
Flow.
wow. Nice. I think I was in middle school then. That's awesome.
There it is, exactly. Yeah, it was at Adobe Gila's, which was in, where was it? Like Arena District over there by like Brothers and stuff. Like
Hmm.
it's a different thing now, but the building is still there. But we were at Adobe Gillis, and I was just supposed to be jumping in to just kind of sing a little bit sometimes because I was also like, I'm not sure if this is what I want to do. So
Okay. So were you guys opening up for another band?
no, we were playing our own set, our own night.
Oh, your first show, really?
Yeah, yeah, it was my first
That's
show.
that's awesome.
Yeah, back
I'm
in
I'm not sure not many bands get to be like the main act for their first night.
Yeah, well, Adobe it's when though it was back in the day when you were playing the whole night at a bar, so your night would be 10 to 2.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you could get another band, like that'd be
Hmm.
sweet. But we were already a group of 9, and
Oh,
so I think
gotcha. Yeah.
350. So we're walking home after 4 hours, with like $50 maybe.
Hmm.
And we always from the beginning have had what we call a band fund. I don't want to say band fund. It's a band fund. It's our savings account. And so from every gig that we've ever played from the beginning, we have saved a substantial amount of money
Okay.
to continue to have our business
Hmm.
runs. Um, it's been really cool because it hasn't been out of pocket for anybody to run our business. We buy all of our merch, we press our own stuff. We do all the things that you do as a band with money that the band has made. So
Oh, yeah, that's definitely really smart. I'm not sure how many people actually do that, just because I know
it's
it
a
can be
lot.
kind of like a money pit, buying all the new equipment, traveling, stuff like that.
It gets very expensive.
Hmm. So how would you say your first show went? Did the crowd seem to love you guys?
I think it went great. Yeah, we're still here, and I believe, did we play there again? I'm not sure if we played there again because I'm not sure that Adobe lasted that long. It's kind of funny because we've outlasted a lot of venues. That's an interesting thing to
Hmm.
live through and to see. But yeah, I guess they did.
I'm sure High Street's changed so much since you guys started.
The only thing, well, and what's cool is that Park Street Tavern, like
Mhm.
that's there and that's been there and like it's always gonna be there. And they really gave us a shot. We got to play there, I think, monthly, and we would have that place just packed to like wall to wall, shoulder to shoulder. Like I remember during our breaks, like again, we're working 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. So it's a long night.
Oh yeah.
I'd be going to the bathroom and like I can't go to the bathroom. I can't make my way from the stage to the back in 30 minutes because it's just that packed. So I would have to go
Wow.
outside on the back. I tried to sneak around. Yeah, it was really, I mean, it was great. So like, but that Park Street Tavern, we have a lot of memories there and a lot of hours there.
Well, I'm glad you at least have some place that's sticking around with you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
So obviously with this whole pandemic, a lot of these newer artists and musicians haven't gotten the chance to really perform. Is there any advice or tips you would give them for their first performance?
Yeah, stay with it. Don't give up. Be persistent. Um, just don't burn yourself out. For the
Hmm.
love of Pete, don't burn yourself out. I think that's something that I would have told a younger me. Just in pursuit of this career, you do everything. You accept, every gig. I feel like the conventional advice is say yes to everything, do everything, be available all the time. And so I have been. And for me, the pandemic was the first time ever that I didn't have things to do. And it was like, oh no, you're home. And
Hmm.
this is where you're at. And there's nowhere to be and there's nowhere to go. And I started realizing, oh wow, there's a lot of things like I need to rest. And so I would just advise against, that burnout and just say, make sure that you're taking care of yourself. But everything is coming back and everything's going to be back. And just, keep the faith and stay the course. I know it sounds so cliche and so stupid, but like, just stay the course and keep at it and just get better. Watch people that you admire, bands that you like, anybody that you think that you might want to be like. Go to YouTube and just absorb as much as you can. And, by the time that get rehearsals in, if you can rehearse and you can get together with your group, and even not just rehearsing, just kicking it. Like if you can just get together outside safely and just talk with each other and just kind of set a plan. I would use this time to set a real roadmap and a real game plan. We're going to perform, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Our goal is this. I would use this time to really, really plan so that you have a blueprint and like I said, a roadmap for what you're trying to do. That's
Yeah.
what we want, just late night, post gig, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning, you're just up because you just did a gig. And, we would sit and just and plan, it'd be fantasies too, but
Hmm.
we would be, plotting and scheming and writing those down. We're really good at making lists. So that's, hopefully don't fall into the list making trap. But yeah, I would say that this is time to set your plan and your goals. And
Yeah,
then
I would completely agree with that because they can't be focusing on those live shows right now because there's really not too much going on. So I totally agree. Just focus on your goals and where you want to see yourself when venues start opening up. And you had mentioned that maybe go to performances of like kind of similar bands and stuff to get a feel of what the fans like to see. Was there any band in Columbus that you guys tried to emulate or like that you really liked how they performed live?
no, and I was thinking like to check out like YouTube for so what happened for me was I saw Sharon Jones and the Dap
Hmm.
King one evening and it changed my entire philosophy on performance.
Oh,
Before,
interesting.
yeah, before us in Columbus, there were really no bands with a Black female front.
Hmm.
Um, there weren't really a lot of bands that had horn sections outside of Hoodoo Soul Band. But so we came in and we were doing a lot of things that were not being done yet. Um, of course, now you see a lot of bands, you see the saxes and the trumpets and you see the horn section. But when we first started, there were not bands that were doing that. And
Hmm.
one of the things was just like, oh, we're not a 4-piece band. Like we've always just been 9, 10 deep all the time. And so while that made it difficult to make money like that, it also was just super, super dope to just always have such a deep crew and a big. I mean, we were the party when we walked into places. We ended up a party when you walk in with 7 to 9 people. You can't help but be the party. But yeah, no. As far as Columbus goes, there was nobody doing what we were doing when we started. And there were not a lot of female fronted bands, period, back when we started. So that has been something that has evolved, and it's been really sweet to see that evolve here in the city, to see live bands with rappers, to see live bands, pop up in different places, and horn sections pop up with all sorts of different bands. So like I was saying earlier, though, I saw Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings, and that completely changed my life. Of course, I've always been influenced by like Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
Love Beyonce. I've watched much since a kid. So that she's always been an inspiration. Tina Turner, Shaka Khan,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Bell. So those were my early influences until I got into doing this for my career. And then one year we went to Bonnaroo. I think 2013, we went to Bonnaroo, and that was a complete game changer. We got to see how these artists, how these bands were performing for these huge crowds, and just on that festival level that we hadn't been. I had never been exposed to that. So to see for the first time, to see people doing audience participation, to be doing all these different things, you're like, oh, there's all these different points to be hitting. There's all these different aspects of a live performance that you don't necessarily think of, but once you see it, you're like, oh, yeah, that's super sweet. So
do you have any examples of like things that you might not have thought of originally?
Like an audience kind of call and response thing. Like we do the Mojoflo two-step, and during one of our songs, and we just break it down, and I'm like, hey, everybody, we just do this dance. And so we just get everybody to rock back and forth, side to side. Mm-hmm. Simple, easy, everybody can do it. And then I put a little, variations on it and do little different spins. But then like we also change the music up with it. But that's something. The two-step. I do a Soul Train line. That's not something I saw at Bonnaroo. That's something that Comfest, Gail Burkholder allowed me to do when we were on the I Wish You Jazz stage. I asked her if I could come out and do a Soul Train line because I was just really inspired, and I do it. And she's like, of course.
That's awesome.
And she's like, but I'm gonna make sure you have security. So there's all this detail like around me, and that was the birth of the Mojoflo Soul Train line, and it was amazing. And it's just all that different stuff. I've always wanted to really be close to the crowd and the audience, and just to have that interaction. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, pre-pandemic, I danced with the crowd like all the time. And for me as an audience member, to see the artist come down, that's like a huge thing. You're like, oh my God, wow, you're cool. And of course I am not that cool. So I'm always like somewhere in the back. Like when I'm Amber Knicole on stage, it's a different persona for sure. But just things that make me feel good as an audience member, I want to do for our audiences. And the show has grown and evolved with that. But those are the things that were really influential, was just seeing how bigger artists that were on the stages that we wanted to be on and want to be on, what they were doing, what their approach to things was. For me to see how everybody, I'm in this sea of people, this sea of strangers, and we're all vibing the same way, and it's just super powerful, super amazing, everyone's heart's basically beating at the same time. And it's just, it's that spiritual connection that we all have with each other. That's just, that's me getting a little more lofty, but.
No, I really love that you look at it through the lens of an audience member to really understand what they want. Because all the concerts I've been to, when an artist will come down or like jump onto the crowd and you get to touch them, like that sticks in your head out way more than any other concert. Right. So yeah, definitely adding that personalization. That's great.
Thank you. Yeah, we always wanted it to be an experience. Like my Mojoflo, I always was like, I want people to know that we sound great. You can put our CD in, you have to really, or our CD, oh my goodness. I should have like, you can put our CD, but you can put in our, you can listen to us, you can
Hmm.
stream us,
It's on
or
Spotify. It's on all streaming services. Yeah.
CDs, but which my goodness, we have so many CDs. Anyways, but I was like, I want people to say, but you have to experience Mojoflo.
Hmm.
That's an experience. You have to go, which is for me again how Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings were. You can listen to the music all day, and it's great. It's fan. I mean, I listen to it all the time. That's my Christmas music. That's my cleaning the house music. That's my chilling. Like that's my music. I love it. But
Okay.
there was nothing. There was nothing that compared to going and seeing Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings. Like, and that's what I want to happen. So that's what I worked towards having.
That's awesome. I mean, just like everyone else, I think we're all missing that tight knit feeling with the rest of the crowd, being able to look eye to eye with the artists.
Yeah.
So I personally think my first concert back is just going to be such a mind fuck, honestly.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, like everyone's heart beating together. It's just going to be such an overwhelming experience.
Exactly. I can't just be touching everybody. Then I'm like, yes, did not do that. So, but yeah, I'm excited too. I'm
Mhm.
excited too, and and there's a weird anxiety that comes along with it, because it's been over a year, and it will have been over a calendar year
Oh yeah. Mhm.
that happened. But I've been fortunate enough to be able to still perform. Mojoflo has done like some virtual stuff, and
Okay.
I just finished a run at Short North Stage with Columbus Immersive Theater doing Spam-A-Lot. And so we had socially distanced, limited capacity live audiences, though.
Mhm.
And that was the first time that I'd been in front of a live audience since, pandemic started. It was just like, wow, like just energy, just feeling energy. You're like,
Mhm.
man, that's something else. So
So do you find yourself almost more like rejuvenated when you're kind of in the spotlight? You kind of feed off that energy?
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
That's kind of what I get from you doing all the acting and then all the live performances.
For sure, yeah. My passions are. I mean, I just love to perform. I think that's what I've always wanted to do. So, however I can get it, that's what I'm gonna do. I've
Okay.
always loved theater. I did my first musical when I was in high school and just got bit by that bug as well. So the fact that here in Columbus I can do both. It hasn't always been that way. It took a long time to get to this point where I could do both,
Hmm.
because at one point with Mojoflo, like you can't take a month off, because we're
Yeah.
working that much and we were just hustling that much. So there was no room to do something else. But now there is room to do something. I started doing musicals with them in 2018. So I'm excited. And it's nice to find that balance.
Mhm. Sweet. So hopefully with all these people getting vaccinated, the concerts will start coming up again. Is there any shows you guys have planned?
Actually, May 30th, we will be at Land Grant Brewing
Ooh, all
outside.
right.
Yeah, outside, and I'm looking at my calendar, so excuse me, so I can tell you exactly what's going on. We're going to actually we're going to Ohio Wesleyan University tomorrow, and then we'll be at Denison on Monday, and
So you guys are already starting to do like smaller, more socially distant shows then.
yeah, we do a lot. Yeah, we're at Denison University a lot. We've been playing there for years, and they're just phenomenal over there. They're great.
Mhm.
I love everybody over there, and it's a beautiful campus. Um, so yeah, we have that. Let me see. Yeah, Monday, May 10th at Land. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Not that's me. Sunday, May 30th at Land Grant is our show that we have. That's Mojoflo, and that'll be the first time that we're out publicly.
Ooh,
Yeah. So that
exciting.
yeah, it is exciting. And then we'll see. We're looking to we'll hopefully get some stuff maybe popping in June and July, but yeah, other than that.
Well, now I'm really excited to feel that energy you give off. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to make that.
come on out. Come on out. Yeah, I can't.
Definitely.
So you'll get a lot. There'll be a lot. So no, I, my photographer friends are always like, you move so much. Like we try to get pictures and like you're just constantly moving. So that's also something that I'm working on is like
Mhm.
move and stop and then move and stop. I mean, there's always things to improve on. I just get so damn excited, and so I'm just like over here, over there, spinning, back bend, kick,
Do you
jump.
ever, so you ever find yourself kind of thinking like, I'm gonna freeze a pose right now and hope they get it?
Kind of.
Kind of, okay.
Me too, but kind of. I what I find myself doing is moving slower. So like I'll
Okay. Hmm.
then do like a look or whatever, and just be like, and I'm staying here, I'm staying here, I'm staying here, and now I'm moving. You know?
No, as a photographer, that would definitely help me out.
Yeah,
So it's good that you can slow down for them.
yeah. I appreciate them saying it. And everybody, people that have taken pictures of us have just taken gorgeous, phenomenal, amazing. Like, it's been really cool to see myself through lenses of others in that way because people have caught some gorgeous just stuff that I'm like, is that what we look like? And it's just like, yeah, like it looks, that's what the camera sees. On the other side of that, though, I'm like, ooh, is that what I look like? And it's like, so,
How about angles and lighting?
yep. And sometimes you're like, and that's the last time I wear that outfit, which I appreciate. So,
So you just mentioned that you'll be playing Land Grant on May 30th. Are there any venues or music festivals that you're like really itching to play again?
the downtown Commons, Columbus Commons.
Oh, I interned with the Columbus Symphony, so I was there like every weekend. It was insane.
Like, okay, so are you kind of like, I'm good on the Commons?
No, I love it there. It's one of my favorite venues.
Awesome, awesome. That's fair. I know that sometimes there's like there's burnout, but like
Hmm.
exactly mine too. I really just love it. I love it down there. We get to perform there usually in the summers,
Hmm.
and that is where I debuted my aerial act originally, my Lyra act, which is just like the hanging hoop, and
Oh,
then there's
nice.
also Silks, and I debuted it there as well, and that's just the fabrics, and just such a good time. And they have been very cool about have insurance and all that stuff. So, but there's like they have the rigger, and I know the riggers and stuff, and like they're just it's cool to meet like the crew. Like I like the
Hmm.
crew.
Oh, I don't know if you know, I actually stagehand for Newport and Express Live.
You do?
So, yeah, so I'm part of that crew.
Well, there we go. Well, I like you. So
Thank you.
yeah, it's cool, and like I'm always there. I'm there so early, so you end
Hmm.
up talking and chit chatting and just being like, oh, this is it. And, but yeah, so the Commons have been the place where I've been able to do my big stuff. Climb up 40 feet in the air and
Hmm.
scare everybody and scare myself and then throw myself as well. So. And all that. So it's been really nice to just be able to realize your performance dreams on a stage that's big enough for it and that has the capacity for me to go, I want to just do big and just do dramatic and theatrical and then be able to have the space to do
Oh yeah, it's very spacious there.
it.
And maybe get some tacos or ice cream after.
Exactly. Those food trucks just always smell so good. I'm just
I
like,
know.
and like my rule is like I don't eat 4 hours before performance, and so like I'm just like
Is that from experience? You've learned that yourself? Okay.
I have learned that the hard way several times. You would think after like 2 times I would have learned, but I didn't. Now I've tried different combinations of like, so it went from I would just eat, and then I'm like, okay, you can't eat too much, and so I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to eat a lot. Then it would get to, okay, well, don't eat meat. I would do just vegetarian. Then it got to like, maybe just chill, because it was a salad, even though it was vegetables, it's still in there. So basically, my happy medium is like straight up vegan. So just vegan, no animal products, no nothing except for beans, beans, rice, veggies is kind of like, and then I'll make sure, but I still make sure that I eat and I'm finished eating 4 hours before I'm hitting the stage, because I just move so much and
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing so much that it's just better that way.
No,
So
that's a good tip. I doubt a lot of people even consider that.
I mean, it's hard though, because you get hungry, and then like, I mean, that's a lot, and it's a lot of day planning, and you gotta be ready 4 hours, which means that 4 hours ahead of stage time, depending on what your day looks like, that's, you're doing a million and one other things. So it takes some planning, but it's worth it. And that's how I work. But also eat. I've also learned the hard way that I need to actually eat something substantial, and not just like a little dinky salad and then be like, okay, I'm good. It's like, no, you're not good. Because I've definitely got up on stage and been like, oh man, I didn't eat, and I can feel that. So it's just finding that balance, and things work differently for different people. So,
Okay. So would you say kind of just maybe finding that routine, just what you're comfortable with?
For sure.
Okay.
For me, an empty stomach works best.
Sweet. So it was great to just learn more about your views on performing and just some of the things you do before a show. Is there anyone in Columbus that you maybe want to give a shout out? Maybe they have a performance coming up, or maybe you guys just have collabed or something?
Honestly, like everybody out here trying to make it happen, like all the musicians, everybody, the bands who haven't started yet, who 2020 was supposed to be their launch year, and now it's going to be 2022 or 2021, keep at it. Shout outs to just everybody. I mean, everybody. Hi, Cartier. I'll say hi to Cartier.
There you go.
You're hooking it up. Love her. And just, yeah, I mean, everybody. If I start a list, I'll be there for a long time. But, we got Angela Pearly, my skate buddies, Angela Pearly and Krista from Damn the Witch Siren. Shout out to my improv group, Affirmative Distraction. Yeah, just everybody out there in these.
Yeah, I mean, Columbus is definitely a tight-knit community, and you can tell everyone puts in the work.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Oh, we work hard, and everybody works hard. Like, yeah, whenever you see, and when you see people up there polished and just like, wow, this band's really good. They're really good because they work really hard at it. And there's rehearsals. Like, you gotta rehearse. Don't think that you can do a gig without having rehearsed first. Like, you're gonna want to rehearse. I think that's probably the biggest thing. We just had, for Mojoflo, on Friday we have a 1 hour set, and on Monday we have a 2 hour set, and we just had 2 nights of rehearsals to make sure that we hit everything.
Yeah, I mean, that's great to know that people with 13 years of performing experience still need that rehearsal time.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We rehearsed, and the thing, we've always rehearsed at least once a week. Like, that's always been our thing. Even when we didn't have gigs, like on the weeks we wouldn't have a gig, we would still get together and just jam or just work through some stuff. So yeah. Oh yeah. It is a requirement in Mojoflo at rehearsals and to rehearse. So yeah, there's no showing up. I mean, and then of course, you have to be flexible because different things happen and life happens, and sometimes people can't make it. But 99.9% of the time, everyone has a rehearsal, and it shows, and it makes it so that you can just perform instead of be thinking about, oh, how does this song go? What happens here? What do we do here? So absolutely rehearsal. I'm a rehearsal enthusiast.
Good to know. Well, it was great talking to you, Amber.
Great talking to you too, Chad. Thank you for I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
of
you
course.
for the ability.